this amazing organization that you're here to support. So I am Katie Murphy. I'm a DPS teacher that has been working with Abby for a while, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about our night. So first of all, I want to thank you all for being here. You are supporting Denver's newest and greatest nonprofit, Sidewalk Poets. I have seen the impact that Abby and I'm sure Courtney can make, and I can't wait to see the impact they can make with this organization. Sidewalk Poets, I'm sure you already know if you're familiar with these amazing ladies, but their mission is to leverage the healing power of storytelling through writing and art. So you are here at the ground level, right? This is the launch. And this isn't just the launch of this nonprofit, it's really the launch of a dream. And you guys are the launch pad. You're the launch pad. So kudos to you for being here and doing the countdown and sending them off just into interstellar fantasticness, because it's going to be so great. So thank you all so much for being here. The community, if you feel community here and you're talking to people that you didn't know before you walked in the door, that's what this is all about. Sidewalk Poets is going to just build community, build strength, and build upon each other. So you guys, like I said, are the ground floor and the launch pad. And thanks so much for being here. We want you to know that all of the money that went into buying your tickets is going directly into programming for this year. And the other really great news, as you probably read when you bought your tickets, your ticket price was matched 100%. So whatever you donated already got doubled. And guess what? Tonight, and tonight only, if you scan those QR codes, we have another match. So let's say you donate 50, that's going to get doubled, and then it's going to get doubled again. So I know you all bought tickets, but keep donating, because the power, the exponential power of that donation is really great, and we've got some extra donors tonight, so please continue to donate to this amazing organization, Sidewalk Poets. So a couple of the program highlights. We just said that all of the money donated tonight is going to go into programming. So I want to share with you, what does that look like? What exactly is the programming for Sidewalk Poets? So here's a few things. One of the things they're doing is working to fight gentrification with authentic voice workshops, community empowerment in partnership with Prodigy Coffee House here, and also the Prodigy Coffee House in Globeville. So we're going to be working with their apprentices, with the elders, to really make a stand and know that there are people that have lived here for a long time, and gentrification just isn't going to roll in and take over. So that's really exciting. Another programming highlight, they're doing, and this is near and dear to me. I work at Ashley Elementary, and we lost a student last year, and they are providing some grief and celebration of life writing workshops with some of our students at Ashley, which is such a beautiful thing for students to be able to recognize grief and deal with grief, and also celebrate their friend, Demetrius, and may his name live on, Demetrius. And then hopefully that will culminate in a mural and art project that we're really excited about. So can't wait for that. A couple other exciting things. We'll see activism and amplifying communal voice, and some scholarship opportunities through a workshop with the Ogallala Sioux tribe. Super exciting. We're going to see a community and parents workshop called East Colfax Speaks. Love it. Where, they'll be sorting out stories of trauma and parenting and pain, and just finding some beauty in that and some healing in those stories. And then also doing another partnership with the Denver Greene School, doing a Poetry with Purpose workshop with some of their middle schoolers. So that's just a taste of what's on the agenda and what your money will be supporting. And I can't wait to see where that grows. That's just the beginning. So one more time, let's not forget. Let's not forget, those QR codes are out there. All of the money donated tonight will be doubled and then doubled again, and will be put directly toward, hey friend, hi, directly toward the programming of Sidewalk Poets. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to one of the founders and leaders of Sidewalk Poets, my friend, Abby Templeton Greene. Now hang on a second. Hang on, I'm not finished. All right. Have you ever walked into a room and someone just oozes cool, right? I mean, oozes cool. So the first time I met Abby, I walk into the office at Ashley. School has not started yet, but of course she's there working and getting a room together for free because that's what teachers do. And I was like, who's that? I'd only worked there 1 year. She came in after my first year. And I don't know if it was just this super chill vibe, as in starts every sentence with dude. Or maybe it was the gold lame gold lame fanny pack that she had, which by the way, tonight it's silver bedazzled. But at the time, the first time I met her, it was gold lame. Maybe it's the Park Hill vibe that we both share. Park Hill kids, East Angels, any other angels in the crowd? Or maybe it's that, she's Carly Lloyd's doppelganger. Or is it the other way around? Is Carly Lloyd your doppelganger? I think it's more of that. Anyway, it's probably a mixture of all those things. I just immediately was smitten with Abby Templeton Greene. I'm like, this gal, we're gonna be fast friends, and I want to see where she goes because she's the real deal. She's the real deal. So anyway, we got to work together for 6 years, I think, at DPS. She's been a teacher for 17 years, in DPS for 13. Always drawn to Title I schools in her heart, building community everywhere she goes. She's been doing outreach through writing, on and off for years. She was certified to lead writing workshops through Amherst Writers and Artists. She's the author of 3 books. 3 books. So friends, she's legit. I mean, she is legit, right? This is for realsies. And she's incredibly fun. If you've had the chance to hang out with her, incredibly fun. Gal can sing some karaoke. Gal can dance some bachata. And play some serious soccer. So maybe this Carly Lloyd thing is a little deeper than it just looks. She's the most beautiful mom, wife, friend, and just soul out there. So, Abby Templeton Greene.
Okay, thank you, Murphy. Thank you, Murphy. All right, y'all. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, everyone, for your time, your donations. The gear is looking great on everybody. Thank you for that. We know how hard it is to motivate to do things these days, and we just really appreciate everybody being here and building community. We even have people from Fort Collins coming down. Yeah. So thank you all. Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing the damn thing. Courtney and I are so excited to be launching Sidewalk Poets, and everything that Hoop said is true. We believe in the power of story and authentic voice, and we believe that everyone has a story to tell, and that everyone's story deserves to be heard. And that's what we're doing. Through storytelling workshops, through writing workshops, through art. And we set what some people said was a lofty and ambitious goal to do this 100K campaign. And I know, it's crazy, it's fucking crazy. And we said, fuck it, if we're gonna dream, let's dream the whole dream. So that's what we're doing. This campaign goes all the way to Halloween. And we just got this crazy other thing dropped on us about tonight's triple match. That's like crazy math. I don't even know how that math works, because I'm a writer. So that's just so humbling. So just so much gratitude for that. Okay, so I want to just do 3 stories real quick. So the first is kind of where Sidewalk Poets started. And it was back when I was teaching at Coliseum Street School in South Central LA in 2008. So I'm going to read a little story about that. Can you hear me okay? Yes. Okay. Coliseum Street School is nestled in the pockets of the Crenshaw district, which is known for many beautiful things. One of them, less beautiful, is the violence and trauma of deep-rooted gang culture. For the 4 years that I worked at Coliseum, every year after Halloween weekend, we would return to school to hear the news of whose family member or members had been killed, usually by gunshot. On Halloween 2008, it was my own student, Rainisha's dad, Johnny. Nate remembers him. Rainisha was the top student in the 5th grade class. She was incredibly smart, kind, thoughtful, and the definition of an overachiever. She was more excited than anyone I knew to go on the 5th grade camping trip to Clear Creek. 3 nights sleeping in cabins and being in nature, a luxury most of the students in the school had never known. The students left at 5 a.m. Monday morning, so early that I did not get to see them as I stayed back with the students not attending the trip. Just before recess, there was a knock on the trailer door. I opened it and was shocked to see Rainisha. She looked completely changed. Her eyes were like stone. She moved like she carried the whole world on her shoulders, like she had aged 10 years over one weekend. "What are you doing here?" I asked, knowing she was supposed to be on the bus heading up to Clear Creek. "My daddy got shot." She said it to the air, not making eye contact. Said it like it was a phrase she was trying to understand. This event and many others pushed me to begin an after-school writing program at Coliseum Elementary. We called it Sidewalk Poets. Rainisha and other 4th grade students wrote about normal kid stuff like ice cream and video games. And they wrote about things that were normal in their neighborhood, like hiding from the police helicopters and what to do when there's a drive-by or when the power goes out all night. They found comfort in each other's stories. Kids who never spoke, nodded their chins at each other's words, at their shared experiences. And at the end of the 8 weeks, we held a reading in front of the entire school. I remember Dylan read a poem about his flat screen TV called Ode to Flatty. And Rainisha read a poem about her dad, as she put it, about her twin who passed away. It was the only other time I heard her speak about her dad, other than that one sentence when she appeared like a statue after Halloween weekend. Storytelling, writing, creates a safe space to tell your stories, your deepest fears, to weave them in a way that suits you, to give them to someone else to carry. So that's one story. Thank you. And now, per Steph's request, I'm going to read some poems. And on the theme of the importance of story, this is one for Nate. Many of you know a year ago Wednesday he suffered a life-threatening accident. And So I wrote about it because that's what I do. So this is called Ode to Hand. The right one, the one with the 5 fingers, 2 of which he can still drive like a car. The other 3 sit like a mannequin. The hand that holds itself like a ceramic mug. Like a mug he cannot figure out how to lift. When you cut your artery and 11 of your nerves, your hand becomes someone else's. Something you see but cannot touch. Touch but cannot feel. Go to grab but cannot lift. Lift but might not know when you are dropping the tray if your daughter didn't yell out, "The meat!" when the steak slid off the tray and onto the kitchen floor. A hand like a Ken doll, always in its position. He learns how to do all of the things. The hand tags along. How to grasp the fork and twist the spaghetti round. How to write with pinky and ring finger. How to zip his coat with a thumb that works like a backrest. Like the ground when a buffalo scratches its back. His daughter learns how to tie all of the shoes. His son likes to play, "Can you feel this? How about this? How about this?" while pinching and poking at different parts of the limb. And they all learn to hold tight to every moment, so it feels less like waiting for an answer or a return to something known, and more like a birth, a gift, like something you could hold in your cold and sore palm, in the palm that once took so much for granted. Okay, I got one more, and this is dedicated to one of my best friends and longest known friend. I don't say oldest because, longest known friend, Allie. This is called Wedding Day Collage. The aunties drove the 400 miles to deliver the wedding quilt. It was hard getting here. Her sister-in-law paid for the gas. There's been a lot of deaths lately back home on the reservation, but we wanted to come for Allison, for Allie. Allie told me to talk to water. I smiled. No, literally, talk to water. Hello, water. Please wash away self-doubt, self-judgment, fear. She told me to tell the water what to fill me with, so it doesn't just fill up with the same shit. Hello, water. Please fill me with calm and confidence. Please fill me with the strength of a tank of gas. Please wrap me like a wedding quilt. In the basement is a quilt with the names of everyone she ever loved stitched along the seam. Some of the names she still loves. Some have come undone. The threads of marriage can come undone. Is it marriage we are celebrating or the beauty of youth, the illusion of time? Hello, water. Please wash away self-doubt, judgment, fear, the fear of running out of gas, the fear of coming undone. The aunties with their hair braided like ribbons, their eyes thick with story, they made the drive anyway, because her father couldn't. There's been a lot of deaths lately, back home. Water, please fill me. Water, please help me make this memory a story. Help me make this story a song. Please fill me up with time. Driving home, they crossed over highways. A highway is like a bridge, but without water. Without water, there is no prayer. Water, pray for me. Pray for me like you aren't water. Pray for me like you are an auntie sewing at night on a reservation. Pray for me like your hands are calloused and worn and you make the quilt anyway, pushing your thin slipper to cold metal, the hum of the machine, your heart, pulsing and remembering your brother, her father, a man who was good at running, a man who was good at showing up sometimes. You hum and pulse and you pray for more water, more for her. More rooms to fill, more people to fill them with, more doors to shut and locks that hold. You pray like that, like a marriage vow, like a wish you hope sticks to a star. And you pray that all the goodness keeps wrapped around her like a shoulder, like a galaxy. Pray for me like that, water, like I am good in this world, like all that is in this world is holy and raw and good. And now, I have the great honor to call this amazing, fierce, strong, independent, single mom, badass killer, talented killer. I said killer. I meant to say writer. Killing the writing, not the killer. Badass businesswoman. I get to call Courtney Morgan my business partner, and I'm just so excited and happy. And Courtney Morgan, everybody.
Hey, hi everyone. Oh my God, it's amazing. Can you hear me okay?
Oh,
I think it sounds different up here than it sounds out there. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. My heart is bursting at the love and support in this room. We want to thank our sponsors, Colorado Health Foundation and Denver Family Institute. We want to thank Prodigy for hosting us and for the amazing work they're doing in the community. Thank you, Stephen, aka Yuka Soul, for your amazing contribution and your amazing being. Thank you, Erica Prieto and Prieto's Catering. She left, but let's give Erica a hand. That food was amazing, the incredible spread. And thank you to each and every one of you for being here, for everything you've given. It's just so incredible to know that you believe in us. And even more than that, believe in the work, in the power of the arts, of writing, of story. I'm deeply honored and humbled, and to be completely honest, a little bit terrified. I was like, should I put that in my speech? Imagine everyone slowly sliding their wallets into their pockets. But when we lead workshops, we ask people to be incredibly vulnerable and open and honest, to really lay themselves bare, and it didn't feel quite right not to do the same. And I was talking to a dear friend of mine about this, and they said, Courtney, I think I'd be a lot more worried about you and about Sidewalk Poets if you weren't scared. I've started and built a lot of things, built a business, created courses, taught in many, many places, and in this conversation, this friend said, in all of that, I've never heard you use the word terrified. And they said, and because of that, I know you're on the right track. Because it's scary to do the thing you most love. To try and create the thing that you look out and say, this isn't here, and it should be. It's scary to look at the world and see a hole. To say, this should be different, this should be better, this isn't right, this should exist. And then to actually try and fill that hole, to build that thing, to make something, imperfect though it may be, and to learn from that process, to make mistakes, to fail, to try again, to keep going, to be humble enough to learn your blind spots. You guys, it's really scary and inspiring and motivating and humbling to bring all of you along with us, to have you invest financially, but also with heart and with spirit. Because it's scary because we don't want to let you down. But more than that, we don't want to let down the people who deserve to tell their stories, who deserve to have their voices heard and valued and remembered and honored. The people who deserve access to the power of the arts and don't get it. The people who deserve to have their stories amplified, but they aren't. Abby happy and I believe so fervently and passionately in the power of story to heal, to empower, to transform individuals and also communities, and truly to transform and change society and the world. I led a writing group for several years up until COVID started at the Gathering Place shelter for women and trans folk dealing with houselessness and poverty. And every Thursday, I would be just floored, just blown away by the stories, by the people in that room. Stories of what they'd lived or were living, stories of loss, of pain, of trauma, stories of overcoming, of resilience, of hope, stories set on other planets, stories about talking park benches, stories about love, about the richness and tapestry of human experience, stories of fullness. The talent in that room, the vulnerability, the willingness to both share and bear witness to each other, it brought me more, taught me more than I probably ever taught them. But there's a reciprocity, a mutuality, a communal exchange, a collaboration. And what I think I'm trying to get at, to capture, is that our work at Sidewalk Poets, we hold the container, the space, and the art, the writing, the imagination, the story. It does the work. It's the magic. Our society tends to treat art, imagination, writing, ideas, creation as something either childish, superfluous, and unnecessary, or something for the chosen few. It's something we do on the side after our real work is done, something for when we have time, something for the privileged. But the truth is, art and story and creation are as vital to humans as food, as nourishing, as family. For one thing, studies are showing that using the creative arts in therapeutic ways is associated with a 36% reduction in symptoms of depression, a 27% reduction in symptoms of anxiety, a 28% increase in feelings of positivity and hopefulness. I don't know the stats for Prozac, but I know that we have a lot less side effects. And according to the Mental Health America's annual review, Colorado ranked 51st, that's dead last, in the nation for mental health when it comes to need for care versus access to care. And we're not therapists, to be clear, but offering accessible and free support through the arts is one powerful way to begin to close that gap. And for another thing, numbers aside, as humans, we come to understand ourselves and each other through story. They say it's impossible to hate someone if you know their story. Mary Lou Kownacki put it another way. She said, "There isn't anyone you couldn't love once you've heard their story." We build our world through story, the stories we tell and the ones we omit, the stories of a future we allow ourselves to dream into or not. When someone tells their story, they realize they can change it, expand it, edit it, write a whole damn new one. When we begin to hear new stories, to listen, the edges of our possible world grow. The incredible fantasy sci-fi writer N.K. Jemisin wrote, "But these are just stories," some of you will say. Is it not a stretch to label this revolution when only a few of these stories feature people getting shot up against a wall? To which I reply by pointing at human history. The most revolutionary changes in our world have rarely been imposed quickly or violently, after all. And the gun has not been the primary instrument of lasting change. Ideas are far more dangerous to the status quo over the long term. Stories are the means through which we ponder the slow, ongoing revolutions of the present and foreshadow, or in some